This is Jay with New England on the Rails, and today I'm going to talk about the Static King, made by Woodland Scenics, and it's used to put static grass on your train layout. As you can see, this has been used. Very useful device. I'm going to show you guys how to use it. What comes with this? Well, it comes with several different end screens. So we have this one, which is a fine end screen. Then we have another one with multiple sized openings. So if you choose to mix different length static grass, you can do that. Also, we have this larger grid for larger size static grass. I have this big bag of marijuana. No, it's not marijuana. It's mixed static grass. Just kidding. Then you're also going to need static tack. And also you're going to need this grounding device for the Static King as well. I'll show you guys how to use that. Another quick note on the Static King, you're better off getting the unit with the external power supply instead of using it with batteries. That way you don't lose any power as far as lifting the grass. You'll get a better result with that. So using our static tack glue, we're going to apply that along here near this dead track that I have on the layout. And we're going to use a brush to spread it out, just like this, a nice used brush. And then I have a cup of water to, this is water soluble glue, so you guys can use that to clean the brush up after. But right now I'm going to apply the glue to get everything ready. So the glue has been applied, and now we're just going to take our brush and try to spread it out into something that's going to look realistic. So that's what I like to do. Just kind of spread it out, and I'm going to gravitate more towards this old dead track than anything else. And you're going to see that I already have basically static grass tufts on the layout. And I'll do a separate video on those because those are also very useful actually to have. And we're just going to continue with our static grass glue application. And that's looking pretty good to me. As you can see, we got that applied on here. And this glue actually dries perfectly clear, so you're not even going to see it. So now the next step is we're going to take the screw off the end of this and basically fill this hopper about halfway, and then I'll show you guys what we do next. All right, so we're going to fill up the hopper. This is where this gets messy, and this is where the static grass tufts are better. And what I'm doing is just grabbing a few pinches of this and just filling this up halfway. So let's get this filled up with our static grass. And you can get static grass in many different lengths and colors and neat stuff like that. HO scale, you can go anywhere from 2 millimeter all the way up to about 8 before it starts looking a little ridiculous. N scale, I wouldn't go more than 6 millimeter on that. So now that we have filled the hopper up halfway, let's put this bag aside, put the end cap on this, and then we're ready to go. So you're going to have a cord on your Static King that has a little alligator clip on it. And what you're going to end up doing is attaching that to this grounding device, just like that. And then we're going to let that sit in the glue, at least partially. At that point, you can take your Static King and you're going to just flip it on. It's going to light up. And then at that point, just gently shake it out. You're going to shake that over the glue and just keep doing multiple passes on that. This makes a huge mess. And that's one thing I don't like about this. And that's where the static grass tufts that are already made kind of shine. So as you can see, it kind of just builds up as we're shaking this. So we're just going to do that and continue to shake that out. So I'm going to focus on this and I'll show you guys what this looks like after, and you'll get to see the huge mess that this ends up making. So the static grass has been applied. You can see that it's a huge mess. So we're going to have to go back and vacuum this to clean it up, because we got the track that I didn't even intend to get. I even got the wall. So this stuff is messy, and that's the real downside of this. So let's clean this up with the vacuum and then take a look at what it looks like. And that's what the static grass is going to look like after you vacuum it. And we can see we get a little goofy spot with some glue. I can go back and just give it a little pinch. Not a big deal. Again, everything with model railroad scenery is so forgiving that it's really hard to just screw something up. So there we go. We're going to let that dry and then see how that looks. So now I'm going to focus on adding some static grass in this area. And I've already done a base coat, and I highly recommend a base coat of some sort of scenery material there. And then I'll do near this tower, and then obviously I'll do along here. That way it kind of all flows throughout, and eventually I'll get into this area as well that already has a bunch of static grass tufts in it, but I want everything to blend and look good. So that's going to be my focus, and let me work on this, and then I'll show you guys how this comes out. All right, so our glue's been applied. Now I'm going to take my trusty brush, and I'm just going to carefully, dab this to get it to look realistic. Okay. Just like that. As best we can. Okay. Get it as close to that tower as we can. And then we're going to spread that around here. Okay. And get around here. It's okay if you're a little messy with the glue, it'll dry clear, as long as you're using the right glue for this. So, not really a worry. We'll get that all spread out. Okay. And here's the mess that we're left with. So obviously I have some vacuuming to do, which I'm going to do right now, and clean this up. And there's the end result after vacuuming. Obviously some of the glue's wet, so you can see a little bit of it there, not a big deal. But we'll let this dry and then check in and see how it looks. Looks pretty good to me. Looks pretty good. Still got to do this section over here where I've added the static grass tufts. But overall, looking pretty good so far. All right. So all of this has been done with the Static King. And we just need to let the glue dry. And that looks pretty badass, I must say. All right, so I continued on. I did a lot more of the layout. Then I started mixing different color static grasses. So I went a little bit lighter at the end of this rail here, and then darker in a few other areas. But it's looking pretty good. Still got to do the road. That's the bane of my existence. And I've already started doing into the train yard, and then it kind of tapers off the way I wanted to do that. But that is how you static grass, folks, with the Static King. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like. If you have questions or comments, be sure to comment down below. This is Jay with New England on the Rails. Until next time, take care.